Welcome to WB Mason Postgame Extra, exclusively on SNY.TV. Tuesday night, the Braves made it 2 straight over the Mets, beating the Mets 3-1. For a good part of this night, it belonged to Carlos Torres, 6 scoreless innings, but it caught up with him in the 7th.
Well, they only threw 66 pitches in the game, but the Atlanta Braves player that had the best swings all night was Evan Gattis, who just came back from AAA. He had 2 base hits to start and then a big home run to get the Braves back tied 1-1 after a walk to Dan Uggla. Another home run to Andrelton Simmons, his 13th of the year, and that was the only inning for the Braves, but it was enough.
Well, that makes them really tough. They can all hit a homer, and you know that's why they've been winning. They can score quick and fast.
That's baseball. Unfortunately, baseball usually comes down to 1 or 2 pitches, 1 or 2 at bats, and that's the way it goes.
Pitched very, very, very well. I mean, you look where he was in that point of the game, and he was cruising pretty much. So, I was certainly, you know, they're dangerous. So you can't make any mistakes.
They got him at the end there, but that's what the Braves been doing all year. They get a walk and they hit those home runs. So a lot of the pretty much up and down the whole lineup, anybody can put it out the yard, and you know, it's evident tonight.
Mets got their only run against Chris Medlin in the 6th. Eric Young, who had a big night on base 3 times, hit an opposite field triple over Gattis' head. Came home on a Daniel Murphy double, but that's all the Mets got.
Also scored stole a base. Quintanilla had a couple of hits tonight, but just not enough. Mets had 8 hits, but only produced 1 run.
We just couldn't put up any runs. Medlin was very tough, which he always is, and when you got a young lineup and you have an assortment of weapons to use against them. They can be tough.
He likes to get ahead of hitters. He attacks his own, and I know he hates walking people. So you want to make sure he puts the ball over the plate, take your swings on him, because like I say, he's not going to walk anybody. So kind of got to be aggressive against a guy like that.
Mets left 2 on in the 7th, 2 on in the 8th, and could do nothing against Craig Kimbrell in the 9th. So the Mets have lost 3 straight. They'll try and salvage the finale on Wednesday. Noontime start in Atlanta. Our coverage begins at 11:30 a.m. on SNY with Pepsi pregame live. Dylan G goes for the Mets, Cameron Lowe for the Braves. That'll do it for WB Mason Postgame Extra. Be sure to join us after every game for exclusive coverage on SNY.TV.